I would have personally have preferred to see Terence Crawford versus Victor Postol, but we get into Hank Lundy, and actually over this last week they've been really doing a good job hyping up this fight. Mostly Hank Lundy. Hank Lundy pretty much came. I'm not gonna say he came cheap, but it was an easy fight for Terence Crawford team to make. Um, he also has been doing his part in selling the fight and providing controversy. There's one thing about Hank Lundy is he knows how to sell a fight. When you look at Hank Lundy, Hank Lundy 138.2, Terence Crawford 139.2, 140-pound limit for the WBO title. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Before this, it was heavily rumored that Terence Crawford was going to be the #1 guy to take on Pacquiao. Now we know Timothy Bradley is taking on Pacquiao. In the future, Bob Arum wants Terence Crawford, if he beats Hank Lundy, to fight Juan Manuel Marquez or Manny Pacquiao. We'll have to see how that goes. We don't know for sure yet if Terence Crawford is going to be staying at 140 pounds if he beats Hank Lundy. But when you look at Hank Lundy's career, 5 defeats, he's been stopped 1 time, and he's got 1 draw. Let's look at his defeats. First defeat of his career was against John Molina Jr. in a fight where he was TKO'd, he was winning. All of his fights that he's lost has had some type of controversy one way or another. And as he says, nobody has clearly beat him. When you look at the Ray Beltran fight, in a fight where he was winning and he gassed out late. When you look at the Victor Postol fight, he feels he didn't get enough credit for that fight. Well, in the judge's eyes, because he went over to the Ukraine to fight him. When you look at the Tomas Delorme fight, in a fight which I covered, I felt that fight was personally a draw. The knockdown earlier in the fight that Delorme had got over Hank Lundy was the decision in the fight. When you look at the Mauricio Herrera fight, just a nasty, nasty fight in which only went really 5 rounds because of the nasty cut that pretty much Mauricio Herrera's eyelid was hanging off, because you got a southpaw fighter in Hank Lundy versus an orthodox fighter, and headbutts are known to happen. So now the question is, what kind of controversy will happen in a Terence Crawford fight? A lot of people are saying Terence Crawford is just too good for Hank Lundy, but when you look at Terence Crawford's most recent fights, when you look at Gamboa, who was the smaller fighter, even though he was the faster fighter, he was tagging up Terence Crawford, until Terence Crawford was able to switch to the southpaw stance and take away the advantage of Yurkis Gamboa. But during that transition, he was having some trouble. So the question I'm asking is, can Hank Lundy early in the fight, and midway through the fight, have enough power to maybe stun, maybe knock down, or critically hurt Terence Crawford? Because as we've seen, even in the Dirigeon fight, Terence Crawford takes some unnecessary punches that he shouldn't be taking at this level. And you wonder, as he goes up in weight or divisions more, if not Hank Lundy, who's going to catch him clean and put him down? So it's so many questions to be answered. I'm actually hyped for this fight. Now, the build up for the fight, before fight week, outside of Hank Lundy, it wasn't really too much there. But now the fight's been doing good. It's in the small room in Madison Square Garden, and they've sold out. Hank Lundy's people have traveled all the way from Omaha. Dude, when it comes to Omaha and his support, dude is a star. They've traveled all the way from all the way from Omaha to New York. You're hearing that some people are driving there. Some people on my friends, on my Facebook, that they're documenting their road trip from Omaha to New York to see Terence Crawford fight. And it's also good to see that he's able to sell out a venue, even though it's a small room. Well, it's not confirmed yet if it's the small room. I don't know for sure if it's the small room, but I'm pretty much sure it's not the full big Madison Square Garden for a Terence Crawford Hank Lundy fight being sold out. But still, for it to be 8,000 tickets sold for Terence Crawford and Hank Lundy in New York, those are great numbers. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. It's going to be interesting to see if Hank Lundy can pull off an upset, but also if Terence Crawford was to win, where does he go from here? That's going to be the real story. Follow me on Twitter right down below, T-Street Live. The link right down below in the description box. Of course, after the fight, I'm going to be here doing a live moments after the fight, post-fight video, also doing a Google Hangout, which is a live streaming show about an hour or two after the fight. Please subscribe.